What's going on, guys? So today we are out here at CCRV in Corpus Christi, Texas, and I am going to show you this brand new 2020 Keystone Fusion toy hauler. Hang tight, I'll be right back. So this is the Keystone 369 toy hauler. This thing is probably about 40 feet long front to back, might be even a little shorter than that. You can see we have all the hatches open, so you can see the pass-through over here. Before we dive into more of the exterior, let's take a look at the numbers on this unit. This unit has a gross vehicle weight rating of 17,000 pounds, and it has a cargo capacity of 3,420 pounds. This unit does have the LCI Rotaflex upgraded pin box. Does not ride on a drop frame. This has a solid straight frame. Some toy hauler manufacturers choose to go drop frame, some of them don't. In the case of Keystone, they choose not to. This specific unit does have the new in-command system built into it. This is essentially that smart system that manages all the electronics, pretty much everything through a computer in the actual system. So this is cool because if you have a new General Motors truck with their 8-inch display, you can actually control most of the features of this in-command system, such as your slides, your air conditioning, your lighting, all of that, plus see your tank levels, everything from the cab of your truck, which is really cool. This is actually a pretty good size pass-through storage. I love the fact that they use the 3-inch aluminum framing underneath this bath deck right here. And this bath deck, all this framing right here is just designed to hold the floor up above it. The reason they use aluminum is because it's lighter weight, and you're really never going to exceed the capacity of any of this. You can see how the flooring is really thick on this specific unit as well. They don't have any type of radiant barrier under here, which is kind of odd. Typically, I'm used to seeing a radiant cover underneath here just to prevent some of the heat that builds up in here from transferring to the other side, even though it's not necessarily radiant energy that's doing it, so I don't necessarily think it's that important to have a radiant barrier here, but it is nice to see when manufacturers put it there anyways. The battery storage is on this side, and it can store up to 2 batteries. So you have a battery mount right here, and you have a battery mount up top here. This is also on strut arms as well, which is really nice. It uses a slightly thicker, but not necessarily as thick baggage door as some of them that I've seen. Coming around this side, you'll see it has a nice micro refrigerator as well as a TV already mounted in this outside entertaining area. The door uses a friction hinge, which is one of the reasons why it's still open right now and the wind isn't blowing it shut on this very windy day. This has the Moride step above step system, aluminum swing out steps. And something that's really cool about this unit is that it's already equipped with Goodyear Endurance tires. Cree 3000 suspension. Coming around, you can see the all frameless windows. Has a second entrance exit to it, and this is going to take you into the garage area, but this has an aluminum flip out step system right here. Plus you have some more storage on this side. Coming around to the back is a nice big back garage door, complete with LED lighting. You see the support stands right here. Plus it has a ladder, of course, to get onto the roof. This is going to be your fuel dispensing station where you basically carry the fuel you need for the toys that you might have in the back of this. Coming around to this side, you can see this does have the BAL, the cable-driven slide system. Coming back around before we step inside, something that is interesting about this specific fifth wheel is that they're using a friction hinge to hold the doors, but they don't have a latch behind the door. So there's really no way to prop the door open, and if it gets incredibly windy, the wind will definitely close the door. But that is interesting. It's one of the first RVs, period, that I've seen that doesn't use a latch here. Now, those latches are incredibly easy to install if you want to put one on yourself, and they're very cheap, but it's just interesting that they don't have one on this unit. Climbing up into this Fusion 369, this has a pretty cool floor plan to it. This is different. So this is actually very different from most toy haulers that I've been in. It has a very large kitchen. I mean, the kitchen in this fifth wheel is definitely one of the larger kitchens I've seen in a toy hauler. A lot of countertop space, lots of room in it actually compared to most. A lot of them are about a foot narrower than this, and you actually get some pretty good space inside of here. You can see they've definitely gone with a more neutral, lighter tone interior. And it looks pretty good. I mean, they still have some of the dark tones, the window valances, some of the areas around the bunk up top, of course some of the areas around the fireplace, but most of it is in a much more neutral, more airier tone. Coming around here, you might have noticed that they even included some bar stools. So this is interesting. You have these little swing out bar stools. You know, I filmed a Raptor a while back, and it also utilized bar stools, but I don't think they looked quite as nice as this. I actually like how these are set up a little bit more. They tuck more out of the way. They're more functional in terms of ergonomics because you can move them around, and you even have more storage underneath it, which is really nice. So this is really cool. This is a nice setup that adds a level of contemporariness to, I think, this unit that stands out. So I'm actually pretty happy with that. Has a huge sofa here, and like many of the other units I've walked through like this, they have a much larger sofa area in the middle. So what's really cool about this is that all 3 seats recline, so you don't have to worry about getting into something like this and only having the 2 end seats recline and the middle one not. So all 3 recline, and this sofa is large enough to easily hold 4 or even 5 people. These chairs are definitely oversized, and this middle one is significantly wider than most. Take a look at that window. That window is huge. I mean, it's got to be 4 feet by probably 6 feet. That is just a massive window. Coming back, you'll see this unit has the 4-door gas-electric refrigerator. This is a very large refrigerator, very residential in size, and at the same time, giving you the flexibility of running off gas or electric. Going up the stairs towards the bathroom, this is nice. It has a 1-piece shower stall. It has the same neutral kind of cabinet tone as the rest of the unit. Over here, you can see that it definitely has a lot of area around the sink. You have quite a large countertop space here around the vanity area. Plenty of room in front of the toilet, at least probably 3 feet from here to there, and then about 1.5 feet from here to there. And likely be upwards of about 6'3" to fit comfortably in this front area. Okay, so as is very common with toy haulers, they position the bed front to back versus coming off the side because it frees up a lot of room that you can use for garage space in the back. That's why they put the wardrobe in the slide, and then they position the bed so it goes to the very front of the fifth wheel. Coming around, this is a king-size bed as well. So there's quite a bit of bed space in here. Typically, you would see a queen-size bed, and when they put the king-size bed in, it really hugs the wall on this side. The reason they can fit a king-size bed in this specific unit is because the wardrobe is a relatively shallow wardrobe. So the wardrobe really can only come in on its slide right to the edge there. Let's take a closer look at it. Alright, so right here you only have about 1 foot of space, which means your wardrobe isn't going to be very, very deep. Now this one is probably 20 inches deep. Part of that is because it uses a cable-driven slide. And the cable-driven slide positions all the mechanics right here up top. So you can see it actually sticks off the wall about 4 inches. This gives you the ability to have a much deeper slide than you might normally have, but you can see it takes up some of the space coming into the fifth wheel. But there's still a fair amount of space here. You probably have 1 foot on each side to get into bed, which is pretty nice. I do like the shiplap board design that they use on the back here. Looks really nice. And you have, of course, your second air conditioning unit here, and this unit's likely to have a third air conditioning unit in the back. You have your main air conditioning system up here in the loft area that is kind of above the front portion of the garage. Very common on toy haulers to have a loft. And then you have a third air conditioning system back here in the garage area. And I believe all Fusions have 3 AC units. So it doesn't have a terribly long garage. It's an 11-foot garage, which is big enough, I think, for most people. And quite honestly, even if this wall came back to around where this door is, I think most people that get toy haulers, not all of them, but a lot of them, get it to have an area to store things that wouldn't take up the whole garage. You could easily fit a motorcycle back here. You could easily fit mountain bikes back here. You could easily fit a small ATV back here. I think that they should come up with more toy hauler floor plans that utilize most of this space as part of your living or even your bedroom space, whereas still giving you 8 feet of garage space, because all I need personally, and I know I'm not the same as everybody, but all I need is a place to carry all the bikes. All I need is a place to carry some e-bikes, the mountain bikes, the bikes for the kiddos, maybe some toys, some small items that would normally have to either go inside of the main living area floor plan of a traditional fifth wheel, or we couldn't take with us at all, simply because the bed of the truck is going to be occupied by the overhang of the fifth wheel. But you can see your second entrance right here. You can see it has kind of the elevating bed system here. This is a queen size bed when it comes down. Both of these chairs right here fold out into your dinette area, but also can turn into an additional bed. You have this carpet right here which rolls out over the back if you want to utilize this more as a living space or kind of a recreational space and not necessarily for toys or things you might put in here. You have some really nice tie downs all over the back here to tie down motorcycles or anything else you might have in the back, because anything back here, especially considering this is behind the axle, is going to get pretty bumpy whenever you are driving down the road. So you want to make sure you have anything back here anchored down very well. You have your vent, which allows the air to exit, and then you're going to have another vent up here for the air to come in to kind of aerate anything out that might be back here. This is a pretty cool unit overall though. And the key things that stand out to me about this unit is it has a nice sofa area. This living room area could probably seat about 6 people total. You could put 4 on the sofa here, plus you have the 2 bar stools right here. In the back, you could sleep upwards of 4 people, and in the front area, of course, you could sleep 2 people in the bedroom. So in terms of sleeping space, you could put 2 in the bedroom. You could put 1 up there, so that's 3, and probably 4 in the back. So you could probably sleep 7 people in this specific unit. From a pricing perspective, this has an MSRP of $96,696. My guess is that you would probably be able to get a fair amount off of that, simply because these units have pretty good discounts associated with them. I'm guessing you're probably going to look in the mid-60s for something like this. But overall, it's a pretty nice fifth wheel. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and we'll talk to you again very soon.